Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and it's time to start what might be the most controversial of the Combiner War series, the Menasor series. And I thought about where to start with this, because there's so much to cover with Menasor. And I thought, why don't we start with the newest add-on to the group, the newest add-on to the Stunticons. This is none other than Legends Class Transformers Combiner Wars Blackjack. Okay, welcome back to the channel. This is Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and yeah, that was a pretty bland intro, but you know what? The character is anything but bland. It was bland because, the truth is, I like the take of this mold being used as Runabout in the Unite Warriors, or maybe it's Transformers Adventure line, better. Runabout, Run Amok, both of those could have used this mold. And I know that that was originally the plan for Combiner Wars, and for some reason it got morphed into this guy, Blackjack, who was a Micromaster from the G1 continuity, never appeared on the show, was in the comics, has been in the IDW comics, and I really kind of didn't know what to make of this guy. I wasn't going to get him at first, but I'm glad I did. I gotta say, I'm glad that I did. So let's do like we always do and look at paint apps and posability, playability, and of course transformation. Paint apps for this guy are beautiful, and maybe the reason that the change was made from Runabout is because Runabout is basically black and red. This guy has beautiful gold windows. He has beautiful bright purple used on the legs and pelvis and on his weapon and out here on his arms and in here on his arms and up on his shoulder. There's a, which shoulder is it? This one. I don't know if you can see it. There's a beautiful small Decepticon symbol. His head is gold and purple. I even like the teal for the eyes. It's different for a Decepticon. They are normally red, but still, it's beautiful looking. This weapon thing, I guess it's a melee weapon. I don't really like it, and I don't really see the point of it. It would have been nice if there was a peg so he could at least hold it like a gun. That's one thing about the Stunticons that I don't like at all, is that they're all given melee weapons. I'm not a fan. But that's neither here nor there because this really doesn't matter. Paint apps, a 10. A 10 because if you look at the Micromaster, these are the way the paint apps basically were. And if you look at his representation in the comics, this is pretty good. Plus, it's just nice coloring. Even the gold on the kneecaps, it's just nice coloring. A lot of subtle touches. The gold up here. If you go around to the back, now I find this interesting. Some seem to have a Decepticon symbol, and some people don't. Mine does. So I'm glad. I'm happy about that. And I also even have silver highlights here on the headlights, I guess. So paint apps a 10. Posability, playability. You know, his arms are on ball joints that go all the way out, and they can go around 360 and bend 90 degrees at the elbow there, and you know, can swivel out on the ball joint and swivel in. Of course, no wrist articulation because it's a Legends figure, and you know, no waist. His head does move left and right very easily, actually. I don't know, it even looks up and down very slightly. It might be on a ball joint, but you're not getting a lot of up and down movement. You know, forward and backward for his legs is great. Splits way out to the side, and you know, a nice 90-degree knee bend. I like him, big fan. So posability, playability, and in card mode he rolls like a champ. He's great. So posability, playability, a 10. For a figure that really kind of has no history and probably a lot of people have no connection to, he's a fun figure. So with this guy being a 10 across the boards, let's go right into transformation. And it's pretty easy, I think. You flip up his chest, you flip up his back, and you really get the top of the car. His legs, you have to also peg together. And and there, like that. You're going to end up bringing the car down over the kneecaps. And you see there's two little slots right there in the kneecaps. There's two little pegs up under here, and those little pegs will basically go into those slots. How do you bring this down? Well, there's a center black piece in here, and you basically unpeg the center black piece until you start bringing it back, and it looks like this. And you can see the black armature in right here that connects the whole pack together. You bring that down, and all of that will peg in lovely there, just like that. And you see his kneecaps are now covered by the back windshield. That leaves his arms free. His arms, you basically straighten them out. You're going to turn them so that the outer, and I guess side of the arm, the door side of the arm, is facing down and is facing down. And now we have, you know, those two ready basically to be folded in, just like so. And you take it down and you fold it in just like so. When you do that, you push the arms into the side, and you know, you just give a final nudge and tighten everything up, and boom, there you go, car mode for Blackjack. And like I said, he rolls like a champ. He's really good. This thing, there are two pegs on the back here. You can affix them onto those two pegs, and I guess he has a, if that looks any good, it's a spoiler. You know, yeah, I guess it's weapon storage. That's nice. I don't really care for it, but you know, it's nice that it's there. Then he's also the chest of Menasor, and that has been a point of a lot of controversy with this guy. Mostly because he attaches on Menasor because of two pegs in the chest, and this hole slots over one, and then this back hole is made up of you know, two halves of his legs going together. Half the hole is on the left leg, half the hole is on the right leg, and when you squeeze them together, you should get a black, you know, slot for a peg to go into. This one fits fine. This one, not so much. When we get to Menasor, you'll see that I had to do some work to get him to stay on. Normally, you can lodge him on, but he's just going to fall off with the simplest of nudges. So let's look at this piece first. This piece pegs into two holes that are on the hood and becomes the center mass of the chest. Boom, just like that. And then he lodges on the chest of Menasor, which I'm not going to do now. I will do that when we do the build video. As a chest piece, he's too loose. I had to do some customization to make him better. Look, the transformation's a 10, the color's a 10. The playability, posability is a 10. The guy, for a standalone figure, is a 10. He's just fun. As a chess piece, he's a 2. He's not really needed. It really doesn't matter if he's there. If you have Menasor and don't have this guy, you're really not missing out. But if you see him and you want to get him just for having a fun Legends class figure, do it. If you want to bolster your Decepticon ranks, do it. He's great. You will enjoy him. As far as using him as a chest goes, it's your call. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anyway, that's the first video in this series. We now have the first part of Menasor ready to go, I guess. And we will move on with part number 2. Who will part number 2 be? Probably the other figure that people look at as a little bit controversial, or as a little bit of a throwaway, and someone that we've seen before in my videos used for comparison. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and take care.